If you've signed up your sim to become a doctor, then you've probably realized that the active career is a little bit of a disease in itself. Pun intended. No, I'm only joking. It's a lot of fun, but it can also be tedious. If you're looking for some help to get through, then you've come to the right place. Let's get into it. Now, what makes the doctor career tricky is that you need to diagnose and treat sick sims. While you can narrow down what disease they have by running various tests, you'll still almost always have to pick between a few options. Misdiagnose a sim and your work performance will take a hit, even getting you fired if it happens repeatedly, which, no sim likes that. But by paying attention to a sim's symptoms and knowing what illness they relate to, you can get much better at diagnosing. This being said, symptoms do overlap between illnesses, making this a little tricky. There are a total of 8 diseases and 13 key symptoms. I'll quickly take you through visuals of every symptom before showing a cheat sheet I made to help you in diagnosing sims. A stomach ache. Essentially, your sim will rub their stomach. They might look like they're in a little bit of pain. A fever. Your sims will have a little bit of steam rising from their head, like they've had a shower, but not because they're sick. And they might kind of like brush their hand across their forehead as well. A tiger stripe rash. Your sim will literally look like they've become a tiger. Literally. They'll be stripy. It's hard to miss that one. A spotted rash. This will be a circular rash that appears all over their face and body. It's pretty easy to notice and is also related to quite a few illnesses. A swirl rash. A swirl rash literally looks like a spiral on your sim's face. Kind of funky, kind of weird, but we'll go with it, sure. Itching or scratching. Your sim will claw at themselves because they are uncomfortable. Blink and you'll miss it. Coughing. Your sim will have a quick cough. It's often accompanied by the next symptom, which is sneezing, dizziness, or head stars. Essentially, your sim will look like they've got a little star halo running around their head. It's kind of cute, kind of fashionable, but, the sims don't like it. Swatting. Almost as if there's a fly in front of their face. They'll kind of swipe their hand left and right, be a bit weird, sure, whatever. Giggling. Your sim will just not be able to stop laughing here and there. Steam blowing from their ears. This one's probably my favorite visually. It just literally looks like steam is blowing out of their ears. I mean, that's the description, so we're going to go with that. And finally, a headache. This one will have kind of like an orange visual that pulsates outwards from their head. Alrighty, now here's the cheat sheet, which of course I made quite rainbow color coded because why not? We do love a basic Photoshop. Also, just in case somebody's watching this and they're colorblind, I put a full list of all the diseases and symptoms in the description. The symptoms are color-coded on the left, the 8 diseases are located in the middle. The top 5 have easy treatments with meds or shots, while the bottom 3 require your sim to perform surgery to treat. So you'll be seeing them more in the later stages of the career. And the symptoms that can present with each disease are shown through the colored squares on the right. Keep in mind, not every symptom will show every time. There could be 4 possible symptoms, but that sim might only display 2 of them. Also keep in mind, this cheat sheet is about 90% accurate. I played and diagnosed a lot of cases, but there's a chance something might have slipped through, so I'm very sorry in advance about that. This being said, I think take a picture of this and it will really, really help you. Note that while no illness is often an option, I've never found a sim where this was the correct choice. So don't do that. Or do it, but I don't think you'll be right. In the beginning stages of the career, your work will revolve around chatting to co-workers, showing patients to their beds, and delivering meals to them. It's all very easy. The ideal mood for the career is focused, which can easily be achieved by pondering moves at a chessboard ahead of your workday. As you progress, the career will become trickier, with your sim needing to diagnose and treat patients correctly in order to be promoted. Note that if you successfully diagnose a patient, the treatment will never fail. You'll want to diagnose patients correctly while filling the performance meter up on the top left of your screen as much as possible by performing the required tasks. As your sim advances in the career, more forms of testing will become available and the test will yield helpful results more often. It's a good idea to also simply observe sick sims to see what their symptoms are. I found in time I could sometimes know what a sim had without even running a single test, just from their symptoms. As you progress, at level 3 or 4 you can begin X-ray and treadmill tests. The great thing about these is that they can be repeated to help narrow down an illness, and if your sim has level 8 handiness, they can upgrade the machines to break less and be faster. The downside of these tests, and it is a big downside, is that they are time consuming, and if I'm honest, my opinion is that they're finicky, rather annoying, and a little unnecessary, especially when a sick sim gets stuck in the broken X-ray machine that you can't repair. Yeah, I'm jaded. Moving on. Now, if you've observed a sim's symptoms and you can't work out their illness, I actually advise just letting a patient sit there undiagnosed and getting started on another sim, as this way you won't be penalised for guessing wrong and everything will be refreshed when you return the next day. In addition to their performance bar, sims will have a task that must be completed before being promoted. This is all rather straightforward until you reach level 7 of the career and you need to perform 3 surgeries to be promoted. You can do this through the very random emergency surgery event, which I love because a sim literally collapses on the floor before literally just standing right back up and walking themselves over to the surgery table. Or through having patients with either the burning belly, itchy lumbar, or triple threat illnesses. Now, this is heavily luck based. So if your performance is good, you can actually misdiagnose a patient with one of the diseases that require surgery, and your sim will perform the surgery. It will count towards the promotion task, but of course, if it's wrong, which it most likely will be because you're forcing it, it will negatively hit your performance. However, you can just get this back up. It's a good option if you're struggling to find cases. Note that the next promotion task, delivering a baby, is entirely dependent on getting the emergency childbirth event, but they don't seem super rare, so you should be okay. There are a few other random events that can occur as well, notably the outbreak event, where your sim must treat a few patients to prevent an epidemic, or a house call, where they go and treat patients in their home. They're mostly the same. You're sent to a random location where you have to treat a few people before you can get the hell out of there. These can be good to help your daily work performance, but are otherwise just a fun side event to help break things up. That is all of the main points, tips, and tricks to help you get to the top of the career in no time. A fun perk is that when you hit level 8, your sim will gain the sickness resistance trait, which will mean they get sick less and for a shorter amount of time, which we all love. Alas, thank you so much for watching. I hope that was helpful. Please subscribe and leave a like. I would really appreciate that, and have an amazing day. See you later.